What's up, guys, and welcome back to Beyond the Void Horror Podcast. My name is Alex, and today we're going to be doing a spoiler-free review on a new movie that just came out. It's an anthology called Il Final Contagium. It contains 4 shorts about a virus in the middle of a pandemic. Fuck it. So, Il Final Contagium is a movie that I saw a trailer for months ago, earlier this year, and it's something that a buddy of mine, Slade, and I had been kind of anticipating. It's something that I've been looking forward to. So this is an anthology that doesn't have a wraparound. It is kind of seamless in the sense that the same epidemic is happening at the same time in different parts of different countries, and each of these directors is tasked with making their own story. Essentially what happens is there's this mad scientist doctor who has some sort of disease or virus that he is looking to take it out on the world. And the first segment deals with that directly, while the other ones kind of pick up a different story for how it spread. Personally, I love stuff like this. Now, is it going to be everyone's cup of tea in the middle of a pandemic? Oddly, maybe so. This is a little bit of an overdoing it kind of story of virus. These are flesh-eating viruses, stuff that morph people into different kind of creature, beasts, just melt people. A lot of different types of stories are fit into this one sort of virus, and I kind of enjoyed it. Now, if you know me, you know I like to get into some of the weirder movies, some of the older movies, and I feel like this is kind of a throwback to the 90s and 2000s where they were going for that extreme kind of push where they would go for gore and just excess and gross you out. And Il Final Contagium is one of those kind of movies. Now, is it the most depraved, fucked up movie I've ever seen? No. Is it shit? No. I definitely don't think so. In fact, it's 4 shorts that are done from Chile, Italy, Kosovo, and also Germany. These are from directors that have done a lot of different movies that are, you know, kind of pushing the boundaries a little bit. Some of them have done some work for Unearthed Films, which if you're a fan of Unearthed Films, they do a lot of kind of exploitation style gore. They've done the American Guinea Pig series as well as put out the original Guinea Pig series and such. Directors like Lucio A. Rojas, who is a Chilean director. You got Lorenzo Zanoni from Italy, Damiziano Cristofaro from Kosovo, and Kai E. Bogatsky from Germany. Sorry, I had to look at that because some of these names are really hard to pronounce. Didn't know what to expect. I was kind of hoping for this to kind of go further than it did. It has an atmosphere, and I have to give it credit there because I really enjoyed the first 2 segments. They were the longest, I think, out of all of them. There's an hour and 45 minutes-ish of this entire film, and 4 shorts split the difference. And the 4th and final film actually is only 15 or 20 minutes long. Some of the segments that are in here are better than others. Like I mentioned, the first 2 are probably my favorite. I'd say the second segment is my favorite. The first segment is probably my second. The third is my third. And the 4th is definitely the last one, which is weird kind of tonally because usually try to amp it up. I don't know, maybe it just was in that order. It was kind of graphic and gory and gross out, and there was some nudity. It's not exactly the most disgusting thing I've ever seen, so that's probably going to lose points for some of you guys out there looking for some of that extreme stuff. But in the same regard, it's also kind of good in the sense that it does cross some thresholds. The second segment is probably the more gross one. I think it had an atmosphere to each one of these, and I enjoyed that. The music in this was actually pretty good, although I think it might be different music for different segments. Either way, all of it was actually pretty enjoyable, and it added to that atmosphere that I was looking for. Now, that said, all these like kind of good things that I'm saying, it doesn't mean that this movie is really good. Like, honestly, I would say that this movie's probably a 6 or 6.5. I've been missing kind of those 90s and 2000s and kind of that extreme kind of gore. I'm a gore fan. I love stuff like that. And sometimes, you know, the acting doesn't have to be so great when you're kind of looking for those films. The acting in this is okay. It's passable. One of the characters in one of the shorts was kind of annoying, I'll be honest. But for the most part, it's passable. You're really kind of going in for the ride to see this gross out or kind of violence take place on the screen anyway. And for those of you that aren't into that, then this probably wouldn't be a movie that you'd want to check out. I personally like the whole flesh-eating virus thing, kind of like a cabin fever-esque, but this had like almost a Lovecraftian feel in some regards, so it has this sort of atmosphere that I think was better than I anticipated, while in the same regard didn't amplify it as much as I would love to see. I like this concept so much, I wish that they would do more of these and call it something else, you know, ill final apocalypse or ill final whatever it is, because if they had more money to be able to really go all out, I think this would be a really cool series to kind of follow along. I may be scoring it a little higher than other people. Currently, there's some people giving it like a 3 or 4. This is not a mainstream movie, so if you're looking for Hereditary, get the fuck out. I like Hereditary, don't get me wrong, but if you are looking for films and you're a horror fan, you're gonna dig and you're gonna try to find stuff that maybe you wouldn't see because you've expelled all the amounts of types of horror. These are for some of the more ardent fans of horror who are looking for gore and a specific type niche, and I think that's the kind of sweet spot for fans who've been down the deep digging parts of horror. So if you're one of those people, you might actually like this, but you never know if you're a fan unless you actually watch it. Now, I went ahead and picked this up on Blu-ray for $10 on eBay. Brand new. I was like, $10, I'll buy it. It's a 6, maybe a 6.5 out of 10 for me, but I still enjoyed it. It left a mark, and I would watch this again because I kind of like that style. I hope that they do another sequel to this, only with a bigger budget, because there was practically no advertising on this film whatsoever. And I'm a little surprised about that. Maybe they just didn't have the money, but I hope that they can acquire some sort of money to do another one, and it might blow this one out of the water. But I enjoyed it. Have you seen this movie yet? Have you even caught the trailer? And did you like the theme idea of it being a virus and different places are being affected differently? Would you watch something like that? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. I would love to hear from you and what your thoughts are about this, and if you know any of the directors that I mentioned. But other than that, thank you so much for coming by, and as always, long live the void.